We have a winner. It's day 4 of the Atlas Mountain Race 2023, and Robin Gamperle has just rolled into Azoria to win the race. Let's have a little quick look and see what's going on. There he is. Looks like he's been through the ringer a little bit. Bit of a nosebleed, dry lips, and I think that's the standard fare in these kind of dry conditions. So yeah, I don't have any images of him arriving just yet, but it looks like he was still suffering issues, even late on in the race with punctures. Just goes to show that it's never over until it's over, but he brought it home. There we go, the official post from the Atlas Mountain Race Instagram. Robin has won the Atlas Mountain Race 2023, and he looks very happy. I'm not sure whether he's happy to have won or just to not be riding his bike anymore. But there we go. Let's have a look at the race map and see what's been going on. As you can see, he's established a big lead over Justinus in the end. If we take a look at the graph here, you can kind of see where the difference was made. I was speculating yesterday that Justinus probably didn't sleep as much earlier in the race, and maybe Robin might be fresher, and it looks like this may well be the case if my laptop decides to catch up. So here you can see kind of like the movement versus the stop time. A flat line is essentially sleeping. So as you can see, Justinus has just pushed the sleep too much, and Robin was able to capitalise that at the end of the race when it really matters. You can just see he was covering the ground much faster, and it looks like Justinus eventually had to have a little sleep, probably paying for this lack of sleep in this area. And you can see Seb Rauer fairly comfortable in third now. So that's been a really consistent ride from him. Further back, Kevin Benke is really put a really good rush in at the end of the race there to put himself into 4th position. Again, Stephen Laharic, he's done another great ride there, really consistent. Looks like Jon has faded a little. And Louisa is still leading the women's race, which is a really, really fantastic ride. As you can see, her nearest competition is Molly, and that's a fairly substantial gap now. So as long as she gets it done, she's going to be the winner. I found out a little bit more about Louisa since the race has started. It turns out she was actually an under-23 rowing world champion, so she's obviously got a massive engine, really fit, and has managed to carry that fitness through and learn the skills required for these bikepacking events. So that's really good to see, like a new face sort of hitting the big time. So she's also really pushing into the top 20 overall, which is great to see. Wouldn't even be surprised, she could probably get potentially 15th if all went well. It just depends on how she's feeling in the latter stage, because everyone is just going to be broken. I mean, you saw the photos of Robin there. He looks smashed, and he's the guy that won it. So just imagine what these poor souls at the back here are feeling like. And there's still plenty of riding to be done. Let's have a little look at what's going to be happening after the third checkpoint. So a lot of people are getting through that final checkpoint now. It's not easy. Excuse me. There's still some pretty steep climbs. Well, this was me at that stage last year. Looked like a little bit of a mess, to be honest. There's some long, steep climbs, small roads, and they just kind of like they're long enough to kind of get in a rhythm if you're strong enough, but they're also steep enough to break you. And then there's a classic Nelson course, a brutal savage section. You end up riding up this valley, no real clear path, and then there's this donkey track at the end.
And of course, starts for hiker bike.
I mean, if you're fresh, you might be able to ride it, but at the end of this, it's quicker just to walk.
All the way up there. Hiker bike, horrific.
And well, this was me in the last edition of the race, so I'm not very happy about it, and I feel for them. And then just when you think you're kind of getting there, you've got these brutally steep concrete roads. I mean, if it looks steep on a camera, then it is most definitely steep. So yeah, there's still plenty of riding to be done for everyone. you know, it's a long way to go, and a lot of the pack has still got things like the Colonial Road, which is, you know, it's a particularly tough section of the race. So it's by no means over yet for the vast majority of people. So I shall do another update tomorrow, just when I'm sure we'll have most of the top 10 in by that point. And then I'll do a little dive into further down the pack, see what's going on, see how people are getting on. I mean, a lot of people are going to be really feeling it now. Are we going to get some scratches from the mid-pack? I would have thought potentially. I mean, even at the front, you know, it's a very similar pattern to we had last year. Last year was won by Marin, and he actually took the lead on the Colonial Road. 2 guys ahead of him pulled out with issues, mechanical. And we've just seen a similar pattern this year. Robin was in 3rd position most of the race. Justina's faded. Matteo took the lead. He's got ill and pulled out. So it just shows this race, you know, that pushing the sleep doesn't necessarily pay. It's all about consistency, looking after your body, looking after your bike. And yeah, I think the most consistent and the strongest guy has definitely won. So huge congratulations to Robin. And I'll be back tomorrow with another update. So I shall see you then.